morning, but overall the goal of this speech was for you to teach the members of the audience the sales concepts and techniques and inspire them to success. And you were to use showmanship and entertainment and give the audience a selling system. And I definitely believe that you have accomplished all of these objectives. So again, excellent job on your presentation today. I'm going to go into some further detail on those objectives. You did some things really, really well. You engaged the audience by asking questions immediately. Your introduction, as you came up here, you had excitement behind your voice and you started right out of the gate with some great questions that let us know this was an interactive presentation and you wanted us to participate and answer those things that you asked of us. When you were giving examples that we could all relate to, a couple of times you talked about restaurant examples and things that we would experience in a restaurant. I think that was a great way to engage us, show showmanship, and it was also entertaining. Also, the questions that you asked when you were looking for agreement about your examples were very strong, and I think those were some of the strongest questions you presented to the audience was, don't you agree when you go to a restaurant and someone doesn't come and follow up on you that that is poor follow-up? Yes, we all agree that was excellent. Some areas where I think you could have improved on the speech. There were a couple of times where you gave an example and then you said, wasn't that a good example? For me, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Don't ask me a question to agree with you saying it's a good example. Ask me during the example, don't you agree with the example like you did so well in other parts. You tied emotions into your concepts. When you talked about the quad example, it was really great because you said you lose when they lose because you don't feel good about the service. Love that. That helped me tie in emotionally to your speech. But when you were talking about the quad example, you talked to the board too much. You did give us eye contact a couple of times, but you were facing the board a lot, so that's something you need to work on when you're using visual aids like that. One thing throughout all of your previous presentations has been the volume of your voice. And today you started out with a very strong, energetic voice. When you got up here, I went, yes, Stuart, bring it on. And throughout the speech, it went back and forth. Sometimes you had a lot of excitement and it was really good. And then sometimes you got really quiet and it wasn't as strong as when you were excited. A couple times when you were too quiet, you said, really powerful concept. And you got softer and softer as you said that. I was like, serious points. You're too quiet when you're making these important, serious points. Also, at the end, when you were concluding, you didn't come across confident in your words because the volume in your voice was a little bit shaky. I like the affirmations you used, but again, not enough power behind them. And then I just kind of want to go over, in your greet, when you were talking about your process, you did not give an example. When you said qualify, you did give an example. When you talked about inviting, no example. Answer questions, no example. Making arrangements, no example. Follow through, yes example. You need an example for each one of your points in your process. I thought every time you put a really good example that we could all relate to, it was a lot stronger. The points you made where you did not give an example, they were not as strong. So I really nitpicked on this, and I gave you a lot of things that needed some improvement, but again, I just want to reiterate, one of the absolute best presentations I have heard you give so far. I would love to see you improve upon these things that I've given to you today because this is the right direction for you. Get that excitement behind every single word you give and get that showmanship and entertainment up one more notch, and this is perfect. Thank you so much.